Hello everyone, my name is Christian, and today we're going to do another operator guide. For those of you who don't know, first-time viewers, I tend to do very simple, very pragmatic operator guides, specifically focused on the competitive side of the game, including esports. However, I do want to teach, newer players how to use these operators well. So let's start with the first few details. Speed and health, 2 speed, 2 armor, decent operator, nothing special there. When we go to the loadout, you don't really have a lot of choices. You gotta use the PCX33 and the P229. However you want to deck it out, go for it. I've seen people run crazy shit on it. Don't worry too much about it. Now, you can bring either proxies or impacts. Both are very good. They really are really good. I mean, at the end of the day, both are useful in different situations. Now, a quick note about the gun. Personally, I use flash hider, vertical grip, hollow A on it. But something I will say is the gun has no recoil. It's smooth as hell. It has similar stats to Jaeger's gun, except more ammo. It reminds me of Jaeger before all the nerfs, like way back when. It's just a very nice laser beam gun. Like, literally, you can. This is one of those operators that, on attack, you play Ash for the gun, you play certain operators on attack for the gun, like, you got Zoe sometimes, some people play Yana for the gun, some people play Ace for the gun. SKOPOS, to me, is like the defender version of that.
Bomb location secure.
Alright, so let's go in depth with how her gadget works. So, you basically have two operators, right? You got Talos and Colossus. Currently, you're playing as Colossus, and you basically get to teleport. So, to visualize it very simply, you have to go into a place where you can turn into a shield, so you need a bit of ample room, right? You hold down whatever button, and you change, right? But if you're, like, right here, it might be tight, or, like, it'll basically flash red, see, and it'll say invalid shell position. On the left side of your screen, you have annoying HUD about, not being able to change. Now, let's look at what actually can counter Skopos. So you can punch the glass, make it so that the Skopos shield can't see anything. See, even when you're changing, you don't see until way too late. You can throw a grenade at it, and it'll get rid of the shield part, we're making it easy to shoot. And then to actually get rid of the operator, you either can, well, I can't knife it, I guess, since I am Skopos, but you can shoot the head, and it's gone, it's destroyed, and it'll notify you that it got destroyed. So that is basically how you counter it. So be aware of that. Ash can counter it, Zoe, anything with explosives. You don't even have to break the shield first. You can just get up behind it and shoot it. Something people will do if they see a Skopos on a roam is they'll go behind it, set down a little claymore, and then when they change into it and stand up, they instantly get blown up. So just be aware of where you put your Skopos. There are certain specific strategies to catch people off guard where they actually have to use utility. Otherwise, they're cooked. You see this on Clubhouse, for example, which I'm going to show in a moment.
Op 4 has yet to locate a bomb.
So, we're currently on CCTV Clubhouse. I want to show you a few basic uses. Don't put rotate here, normally you put head alls, ignore that. But this is basically how you can play good Skopos. So you hold down rafters, right? And you just fucking use your gadget, have that there. And then you have your second one for like a roam. I'm currently not wearing an arm sleeve. As usual, my sense is gonna be shit in these videos. But, yeah, you just put something like this, right? And you basically just, watch for a rush. You, like, make sure you're not getting flanked and all that. And then you can hold the stairs down here, right? Or you can just swap between. just hold rafters. If you're getting capitowed, you can swap, and you won't take damage from the capitow. You'll be fine. And then you can watch the push, right? That's one way of playing SKOPOS. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna show what this looks like. As an attacker, right, like, you know, you're pushing, you're trying to get on the stairs, right? You can get either a shot from here, if the SKOPOS up there is down, or you see this and shit yourself, basically. You just gotta worry about it. But, yeah, that's pretty much how that works. Now, let me show you the other method I was mentioning where you absolutely have to use utility to get rid of SKOPOS. Now, this is a very smart way of doing it because it can force an operator pick or it gets rid of some util. So you go in the shower here and you swap. Let me show you how that shit looks from the attacker's standpoint. It's fucking great. I saw this used by, I believe, it was either M80 at an SI or something, or it was like maybe OG. I don't remember who used this, but it was kind of genius. But basically, if a team is doing a clear over, right, to attack CCTV, which some teams do, and if you're in comp, if you're in a team, and you know the other team is doing that, do this. Because, look, they can't shoot it. They can't vault. They can't do anything. See? Absolutely nothing they can do about it. Like, they can't, right? So they have to use a grenade, they have to use an ash shard, they have to use some explosive to get rid of this. Otherwise, you know, let's say you ignore it and you're doing whatever and you're pushing this, right? Right, and you're just, you can flank. Boom, bop, bop, you know. So that's one way of using SKOPOS. Normally what I'll do is I'll just have one on site and I'll have one a roam spot, like a power position. So let's say that, let's say it's basement, right? Let's like the site is basement, whatever. I'll have like, you know, a SKOPOS anchoring somewhere, usually somewhere chill. Like behind a bar or whatever, in church. Normally something that's not gonna get me shot in the ass. So I'll have like a SKOPOS here on site, and then I'll just be holding the shit down. You know, I'm just like, boom, shoot a drone, maybe get a pick, but if I'm feeling the pressure, just boom, I'm safe. And then, if you look on bar cam, you see how that looks, right? Can't do anything about that. And you waste time, and they have to, like, try to clear you out, you know? And then eventually they'll shoot you anyway, so that's whatever. But you can just swap between. I did this on Cafe. I'm gonna show a clip of that after this. And you'll see an example of how you can use SKOPOS fairly effectively. There really isn't too many more details about it. It's just everyone is going to play SKOPOS differently. Some people are going to go crazy. They're just going to pick it for the gun. They're going to spawn peek. They're going to swing everything, right? Like, bim, bam, bop. Some people are going to play for flank. Some people are going to play for util. Some people are going to hold power positions. It all depends on the map and your individual playstyle. But SKOPOS is underutilized severely, mainly because her gadget is so selfish. It reminds me of Vigil. Except she doesn't have a boss G, so she's not brought like Vigil. She's simply just brought either for very specific cheesy counter strats, or because someone likes her gun. But she's not a great operator competitively in other regards, simply because people feel like, oh, if we're gonna hold a power position, I'd rather have Omai, you know? Stuff like that, which I can generally see, but I think SKOPOS has a unique take on it that can punish certain teams and lineups, so I'm okay with it. You know, we, back on my last team, we had this, player who would use SKOPOS on bank, put, like, one of them in the corner of square, and, like, when they're, like, late round, he would just teleport to it like an absolute idiot, and just always get a pick because nobody could hear it over the, like, explosions and gunshots. So, SKOPOS is not as bad as people will think. And hopefully this kind of gives an idea of how SKOPOS is to be played out. Now, without further ado, let me show you this clip, and other than that, you know, that's about it.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Plan your defenses accordingly.
Here comes Talos.
Giving them a shot.
Reloading. Switching to Colossus. Shell transfer underway.
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. If you enjoy having a bit more personality, if you enjoy having a bit more, I guess, like, talking, right? You enjoy this kind of content, and you want something more entertaining, check out my latest video before this. It was a Funny Moments video, subtitle and all, you know, it's pretty fire. You might have a laugh, maybe even breathe heavily through your nose, who knows, or maybe you'll just think I'm the most unfunny motherfucker ever. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this guide helped you improve on SKOPOS, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.